Hello and welcome to my brand new YouTube channel. My name is Jamie, aka JamieFinn1415, and this is going to be a YouTube channel with a twist. It's going to be me taking on GBL, only using Shadow Pokemon. I was hoping this season to be the first player to reach Legend only using Shadows. Fell just short at 28-17, but there's always Season 8. So the first few videos, this is going to be video number 2. We're going to be recapping my Season 7 journey. This next team we're showcasing is in the Open Ultra League, and these without a doubt some of my favourite battles from the entire season. You're going to see a Shadow Swampert lead. Unpopular opinion, but I'm going to say it. Shadow Swampert is the best Pokemon in the entire Ultra League. You don't need XLs, you don't need Legendaries, you need a Shadow Swampert. You're going to see a Head and Energy, it beats absolutely everything, including Giratina, going straight Hydro Cannon, as I'm actually on a Sludge Wave in this video, so I can only go straight Hydro Cannon. We've got Swampert running Mudshot, Hydro Cannon and Sludge Wave. We're going to have a Gliscor, which is the absolute star as well. Maybe not the best in the entire Ultra League, but it's a star as well in Fury Cutter, Night Slash and Earthquake. That Earthquake is an absolute nuke. You're going to see a few land and it's just epic. And we've got the big boy in the back, Shadow Snorlax, with Lick, Body Slam and Superpower. The idea of this team is any bad leads, we get a Head and Energy with Swampert. We're going to look to catch moves on our big boy Snorlax, who essentially functions as a damage sponge. Sorry Snorlax, I do like you, but you ain't getting many shields. And essentially the idea is that Shadow Swampert, a Head and Energy, can flip some of them bad leads, such as Giratina and Cresselia, as I've previously said. As a Head and Energy, it can flip them, especially if I manage the catch. And anyway, let's get into the battles. I hope you enjoy the video. Right, so let's see how these battles go. We are moving into the first battle. We've got Swampert into Cresselia. Not a great lead, but I do know that most Cresselias in the lead are running Grass Knot. So we're going to look to catch on 6, which we managed to do. The first time we're going to see us use our trusty damage sponge, Mr. Snorlax. We're going to eat this Grass Knot. That saved energy on the Swampert is going to be huge, hopefully enough to flip that matchup. The Cresselia actually stays in for a little while. They bring in an Alolan Mach. Alolan Mach's a pretty good answer for Snorlax, as these licks are going to be resisted. These body slams are going to add up, but it's not going to be enough. We'll let us snarl through again, which isn't great because this Mach's in a really good spot. However, we have quite a big energy lead, so we could perhaps threaten a shield if they get greedy. Snorlax is going to survive this next move. And I think the Alolan Mach's going to have to empty its energy, which it has. We should be in a really good spot here, as that Mach is just about in farmland range for Swampert. We're going to come in, look to Mudshot down. It's going to need 4 more Snarls to get to his Dark Pulse. See if we can make it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, we just about make it. That's huge. Huge play by Shadow Swampert. Back in comes that Cresselia. So what we're going to do is we're going to start spamming out some Hydro Cannons. First Hydro Cannon coming through. Cresselia actually shields. We instant swap into our Gliscor, and we are met with a Swampert. This is a pretty terrible match for Gliscor, as these Hydro Cannons do hit for super effective. We can survive 1. We get this Night Slash off, fishing for the boost, no boost. As you're going to see, Gliscor is just about thick enough to survive, and it is not going to get Mudshot down, as obviously with its ground flying type it does resist. Hydro Cannon coming through. Now we're going to fire back with our Night Slash. Big Night Slash coming through. That puts the Swampert into Hydro Cannon range. Oh, they almost let us get to another Night Slash, which would have taken him out, but we're not going to shield. Well, we are going to shield this. I think it's a CMP tie, which it is. I think the Swampert got a bit greedy there. It's a bit of a misplay by the opponent. But we didn't expect him to go shields down. And again, this Gliscor's got enough health that is not going to get fast moves down. So Cresselia is going to have to dump some energy, which is great for us. The Crest does dump its energy. Back out comes the Swampert. Here comes the first Grass Knot. So we're obviously going to have to shield, as it will one-shot us, as we are real squishy. And let's start firing off these Hydro Cannons. We're going to need to get to 3 to take them out. We've almost at a back-to-back. So 1 gets the shield. We'll let a Psycho Cut go through, which isn't great. Hydro Cannon coming through. These do about 30% of Cresselia's health, as you can see. It does a lot more than they expect. This next Hydro Cannon might be just enough to take the game. Hydro Cannon coming through. Shadow Swampert, what a monster. GG's to the opponent. Moving on to this next battle, we have got Swampert into Machamp. Unfortunately, Mr. Snorlax damage sponge cannot be used here, as he's really not going to appreciate these counters from Machamp. So we're going to farm up, farm up. This is only a cross chop, obviously Rockslide would be resisted. However, we did get the mudshot through, which is great for us. We're going to look to get to the back-to-back. We actually let a counter through, which isn't great, but here comes a Hydro Cannon. This does about 70% to Machamp's health. Get the shield. I don't expect him to shield this one. As you can see, it's going to put them probably quite low into the red, but they do survive. They can probably counter down. The opponent actually froze this energy. Probably lost track of mine. But we did sneak a couple of mud shots in, which is great. And now we're going to look to come in with Gliscor, and we're going to look to Fury Cutter down. Fury Cutter is actually resisted, but that's actually a good thing for us, as we're going to get a real nice farm. The Machamp froze his energy. This is only 5, so we don't have to worry about cross chop. That is resisted. Even Rockslide wouldn't hurt too much, but we'd rather take the cross chop. We get a huge farm down. This Gliscor is loaded. And a loaded Gliscor is a dangerous, dangerous Pokemon. In comes Snorlax. As I've already committed a shield, I do not expect the shield to be committed here. So we're going to go for this EQ, which lands, which does massive damage. The Snorlax is already deep into the red. So what we're going to do is we're going to shield this up. We're going to over farm. We're going to look to get almost back-to-back Night Slashes. As again, I don't expect them to shield. Fire off this first Night Slash. If they do shield, we'll go back-to-back. I think the opponent's going to be smart enough to know that. So let it go, and let's see what's in the back. We get the boost. Oh, and in the back is Registeel. Wing con for the opponent, calling the bait, but this is going to be no bait. Gliscor is about to go to town, and Gliscor lands the nuke. Night night, sleep tight, Registeel. Just like Wallface, I absolutely hate Registeel. Moving on to this next battle. See if we can pick up a better lead this time. Swampert into Giratina, so yet again another lost lead. It's on Shadow Claws. We're going to look to catch. It's 5 Shadow Claws to a Dragon Claw, so there's the 5th. Catch on our big boy Snorlax, the damage sponge soaking up the damage again. And as you can see, they've now got no energy and we're now pretty loaded. In comes Heatran. Heatran is not really a great answer to Snorlax. However, it obviously wants to avoid the Swampert, so I understand why the opponent's brought it in. Whatever this is, Iron Head doesn't do a lot, and we're going to look to get to their back-to-back superpowers. If it's Heatran shields, look how much them licks are doing. It's quite squishy in the ultra. I imagine the second superpower might take them out. They actually don't shield, which is great. Back out comes that Giratina. It's going to look to regain the energy it dumped. We're just going to do a bit of chip damage. We're going to let our Snorlax go down as he's done his job. As you can see, Giratina gets a bit of farm there. Pretty much at a Dragon Claw now. We are going to flip that lead matchup. We're going to bring in the Gliscor. Giratina's over farming quite a lot. I imagine this is just going to be a Dragon Claw. There's no point for an Ancient Power or Shadow Sneak. Here's a Dragon Claw. We're just going to stay in this matchup. We're going to actually look to match shield. So what the opponent plays, what the opponent shields, I'll shield. I'm just going to match when he let his first one go through. They actually shield, so I'm wondering at this point what they've got in the back. We've seen Heatran, Giratina. So what do they have in the back? It's something that doesn't want to see Gliscor. So I'm thinking perhaps a grass type, which would be absolutely terrible for Swampert. Let's see. They let it go through. I'm going to let this go through because I know Swampert's got a bit of low energy. If it is a grass type, we're going to look to land that Sludge Wave. We actually outpace the Giratina here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get this Night Slash off and look to instant swap just before they get to their move, just so I can save that Gliscor in case I need it later. We do manage to catch. We'll let this come through and let's see what's in the back. Don't imagine going to let this one shut it down. Like we thought, it's a Sceptile, so that is... They're at 3 right now. They need 6, so they need 1 to take the shield and 1 to take us out. Let's see if they shield the bait. Bait, that's 4. That's the 5th coming through. They're actually 1 bullet seed short. Unfortunately, this is yet again going to be a one-shot. Another night sleep tight. And that Giratina quits out. GG's to the opponent. Moving on to this next battle. We've got Swampert into a yet again Giratina. Terrible matchup. This one's actually on Dragon Breath, which is probably a bit better for us if we actually get a little bit more farm before looking to catch, which we do successfully. Let's see what meets our Snorlax safe swap this time. We're met by a Swampert, which isn't great. The Swampert does outpace us, and these Hydro Cannons really hurt, whereas our Body Slams don't really do enough to Swampert. First one comes through. Overfarming a bit. We'll fire off just before they get to their next Hydro Cannon. They're at a Hydro Cannon now. I expect they're going to overfarm, which they do. 2, 3, 4. With CMP tied us, I believe they're one mudshot away from their next move. So we're going to let this come through. And we're going to look to win CMP with our own Swampert. Let's get rid of our Swampert and we'll see what's in the back. We'll see if our Gliscor can clutch out this game. I don't imagine we're going to see a shield, as they are behind. No shield, and they've got that great matchup in the front. So we're going to see Giratina return. And they've got Gliscor into Metal. This is actually a okay matchup for Gliscor. In the 2 shield, it's a lot better when shields are down, as we can one-shot. These rock slides, as you can see, come quite quickly, don't do that much damage. We're going to charge up to this Earthquake. We are going to have to bait. As much as I hate baiting, I think it's the only play here, is we're not going to be able to get to 3 EQs. So we land the bait. This next rock slide is coming through. We can survive, but we are going to want a little bit of health on this Gliscor. So we're going to shield this next one up. We're going to look to outpace it to the Earthquake. I don't expect the opponent to go down 2 shields. Earthquake coming through. And another big boom. Night, sleep tight. Giratina comes back in. It's going to throw its energy. We are quite low. But Gliscor actually has some decent bulk, so I know I survived this. I'm going to let it go through. Get this Night Slash off. We're going to look to do a decent amount of chip damage or get that opponent's last shield. We get the last shield. Let's instant swap into our Swampert. Swampert, upper shield. Straight Hydro Cannon. Let's see if we can clutch out this game. Charge move coming through. Like we said earlier on, Dragon Breath is actually a bit slower to its charge moves. We're going to need to get to probably 3 Hydro Cannons, but we're out of back-to-back. So here's the first one coming through. There's an okay chunk, they're still in the green. No Dragon Breath through, which is great for us. I think they're around 4 or 5 Dragon Breath short of the next one. I think they're 1 short at this stage. Hydro Cannon should be enough, I hope. They're probably at the move there. They know that Gliscor's still got a bit of health, so I think their only play was to farm down. GG's to the opponent. Moving on to this next battle, we have got Swampert into Swampert. Shadow versus Purified. Let's see how they want to play this one. The opponent actually switches out into Cresselia, which is great for us. We're going to build up a load of energy on Swampert. And we actually catch on Gliscor this time. In case you're wondering, that Gliscor is the safe swap this time because we've got an okay matchup with Cresselia and a really terrible matchup with Swampert. So we're going to save that Snorlax for later, and we're actually going to sacrifice this Gliscor. We're going to try and get as much damage off as possible. I actually don't mind losing this matchup because I know that the Snorlax is going to be able to come in, lick down and get enough energy. So if Snorlax does face that Swampert, like we've seen in some of the previous battles, it's not a great matchup, but ahead on energy, the Body Slam spam is going to start adding up. So back to this, Gliscor, Night Slash coming through. We've got far too much health from to Psycho Cut down. They are going to have to throw their energy, and they are in the red, so that's a nice bit of farm for our boy, big boy Snorlax to come in. Grass Knot comes through, takes us out. The Cresselia's got a little bit of residual energy. We're going to bring in Snorlax, probably going to have to eat a Moonblast. Let's see. Move coming through. I expect this to be a Moonblast, but we obviously aren't going to shield. It's not going to do a great lot. It doesn't get stabbed from Cresselia, and Cresselia's got quite a high defense, so not very attack weighted. As you can see, we've now got over a Body Slam. We're at about 40-45 energy, which is great for us. In comes Talonflame. So at 2 Incinerates. This Body Slam is actually going to get them into Hydro Cannon range, which is great. Body Slam coming through. I'll look to instant swap in, get that Hydro Cannon off. I imagine we'll get a shield and look to see a swap. The opponent doesn't actually shield. They do swap, but our Swampert is actually head on energy on them, so they're in a real tough spot there, letting us farm down their Cresselia. GG's to the opponent. On to the next battle. We got Swampert into Venusaur. Absolutely terrible lead. So what we're going to do is we're going to build up a little bit of energy, look to catch. We're actually 1 Vine Whip short of the catch, a bit of a poor play on my part, and we're met with Empoleon. Empoleon Snorlax is kind of a neutral matchup. As you can see, his waterfalls do really chunk, but he's not that tanky, so his licks do really add up as well. Hydro Cannon coming through. We're going to look to get to the back-to-back superpower. If the opponent doesn't shield, I think this first superpower will probably take him out. However, if they do shield, I think the second one will fall just short. They do shield. Let's see what they want to do. We're going to fire this next one. I think this will put him in the red, but won't take him out. The opponent actually double shields, which again is a bit of a strange play. I think they're looking to maintain that real positive matchup that they've got in the front, which is Venusaur on Swampert. We're actually in a real tricky spot as we don't have Earthquake, so we're going to have to shield this up. And we're going to actually hope that these mud shots add up enough that a Hydro Cannon will be enough to take them out. So we're going to overfarm, let our water fall through. Real poor timing on my part. But hopefully if this takes out, the damage won't register. Doesn't take them out, so we actually eat 2 more waterfalls, which is really low. An instant swap Venusaur into Gliscor. We catch this move. Frenzy Plant does hurt as it's neutral. As you can see, we can only take 12. We're going to take 1 as the second one will actually take us out. They are staying in, which is a bit strange. I do wonder what's in the back. We're going to commit our shield here. I imagine the opponent is going to look to catch this Earthquake, so I'm going to have to overfarm and look to throw in the middle of the animation so there's no catch, as we do there. So if I want to throw in the middle animation is actually good. Earthquake lands. Let's see what they got in the back. We've actually got Togekiss, so I imagine the opponent thinks they're in a great spot. However, we got a little surprise with that Togekiss. We are running Sludge Wave. It is great grass coverage, and also I hate losing to Charm. So the Sludge Wave lands, and the irony of a flyer getting mud shot down. GG's to the opponent. Moving on to this next battle. We've got Swampert into Obstagoon. Obstagoon is a bit tricky for this team, as obviously Snorlax really doesn't want to see it, as I think it triple resists our lick. Gliscor's got an okay matchup, and the Shadow variant, as you can see, these counters really start to add up. I imagine this is possibly Obstagoon double charm. We're about to see Night Slash comes through. We actually get another counter through, which is even worse. We're going to get this first Hydro Cannon off. We get the shield. We go for the back-to-back. The opponent makes a real good swap. Let's see what they swap into. I am imagining it's either Giratina or a Charmer at this stage. It is a Charmer. Hydro Cannon is a nice chunk. Bring in the Snorlax. So what we need to do here is we need to try and get just before their charge move. We need to fire off this Body Slam, which will give us enough residual energy to threaten that Obstagoon's last shield with a superpower, which we do successfully. Body Slam's enough to take out Clefable. Looking top right, see what typing comes in, top right, and it is Dark Normal, so we know it's Obstagoon. We're going to throw this superpower. I imagine they're going to have to shield because they're not going to want it to go down. And unfortunately, we're going to get countered down, but we're actually in an alright spot. As Gliscor resists these counters, Night Slash doesn't hurt too much. Gunk Shot would be resisted due to our ground typing. So we're in a great spot. They can only go for Night Slash. This Fury Cut is hit for super effective. We're going to let this go through. Never shielded the first one because they could get the boost, and the second one obviously do more. And in the back is a Gyarados. This is real bad for us. Got a bit greedy. I'm going to have to shield. However, I think 1 Night Slash and a Sludge Wave will be enough to take out this Gyarados. So here comes the Night Slash. We're going to get this off and instant swap into our Swampert. This is the great thing about running Sludge. It's great coverage for this Gyarados, which would normally be a bit of a problem for us. Gyarados gets greedy, just about get to the Sludge Wave. I think this will probably take it out, and as you can see, our Swampert super low, which is fantastic. There's no farm for the Goon. 1 counter takes us out. We're in a good spot here. We've got a bit of residual energy. I'm going to let this first one come through again. Don't want to shield it in case they get the boost. Let this come through. We'll shield the next one, and I think we'll outpace them to the Earthquake. And here is the Earthquake, and this is going to be more than enough to take out Obstagoon. GG's coming back for another tough lead. Moving on to this next battle, we have Shadow Swampert into Giratina. Yet again, another Giratina. So let's see what they want to do. It's on Shadow Claw, so on 5 we're going to look to catch, which is here. The big boy yet again coming in to soak up that damage. And let's see what we're met with this time. We're actually met with a Registeel, which is alright. I think Focus Blast has about 75%, so we'll probably survive. Just enough HP to get off the superpower. The opponent actually wrongly goes for a bait. as I was never going to shield that, as my whole team does pretty good against Registeel. Let's see what they want to do. The superpower should get them, probably do about 40%. See if we get a shield. We don't get a shield. Let's fire off this next one. Let's see if the opponent wants to commit to switch. The opponent does not want to commit to switch. Snorlax has done his job. What you're going to see here next is actually a visual glitch. I click the top of the screen to no shield, but for some reason the shield activates, which puts me in a real bad spot. So what I'm going to have to do, I'm going to have to instantly swap into Gliscor to try and save that energy so I'm not double debuffed. And they switch out and we are met by a Cresselia. Cresselia Gliscor is an okay matchup, but when we're down a shield, Cresselia is going to dominate this. See if they want a shield. I imagine saving 2 shields for Giratina is what they're thinking the win con is. So Night Slash comes through, gets the Cresselia into the yellow. What we need to do is we need to get this Cresselia into Hydro Cannon range. I think still just about outside. I think a few more Fury Cutters should do the job. I don't expect their shield, and unfortunately this isn't going to take them out, but they are going to have to dump their energy to get rid of our Gliscor. I expect this to be a Grass Knot, which will probably take us out or get us really low. Doesn't quite. Oh, we actually get sniped by Giratina. Great play on their part. Swampert and a real low health Snorlax versus a 2-shield Giratina. We're in a rough spot. Snorlax has just enough health to make sure that can't get farmed down by Shadow Claw, so they actually throw the Dragon Claw, which is fine. Now it's going to be Swampert down a shield with Hydro Cannon Sludge Wave. Can it beat a Giratina? So we get the Mudshot through, which is huge. Giratina, we're actually going to deny their fast move, which is great. I imagine at this stage they know we're going to go straight Hydro Cannon, but they're going to have to just start shielding. We do shield, we get another Mudshot through, so the opponent's actually timing their charges quite poorly, whereas we're actually timing them quite well, which could give us the advantage here. Again, we deny the Shadow Claw, which is great. Hydro Cannon comes through. I imagine this will get the last shield and it's going to be a race. We're going to need to get 2 more. Again, we deny a fast move. I think there are 2 Shadow Claws off the next Dragon Claw. So we're going to be racing 1 and 2, and I think that's a CMP tie. Swampert wins CMP. That Cresselia is low health with no energy. Shadow Swampert, if you wondered at the start of the video why I said he's the best one of the Ultra League, he's put on an absolute clinic here. Shadow Swampert clutches out another game. Down a shield, takes out Giratina and finishes off the Cresselia. GG's to the opponent. We're met by a Shadow Articuno in the next matchup. This isn't great. Again, we're going to look to deny fast moves, because if they get a few Ice Shards through, this becomes a really bad matchup. We managed to deny it there. We're firing off this Hydro Cannon. The opponent shields the first. We're going to shield the first Icy Wind as well. Shadow Articuno is actually a bit worse for Swampert, especially the Shadow, as these Ice Shards absolutely chunk, as you can see. We've already lost about 30-40% of our health. We are looking to get the back-to-back off, however I think they're going to be just ahead of us, so we land that one. As you can see, racing, we don't quite get there. They're a turn ahead. They'll fire this off. The Mudshot will register. If we survive, we'll get other Hydro Cannon, which is great. We do survive. That Ice Shard that come through will take us out. However, if they let this go through, there's still 4 Ice Shards off their Icy Wind. I think Snorlax will be able to lick this down. 1, 2, 3. They don't get to debuff us, which is great. We've actually got a little bit of energy. In comes Swampert. We'll let this first move come through. We're hoping to get an extra lick in, which we don't get. We're in an okay spot. No Mudshot comes through. We're going to fire off these body slams, which are going to get Swampert quite low. We'll see if they want to shield. If they shield, then I'll probably match shields on my head and energy. If they don't shield, then I'm going to rely on Gliscor to close out this game. We've seen the Ice type out front. I imagine it might be a Giratina in the back, as it's quite a common team. I could shield this up and lick down, but I'm not going to. I'm going to look to Fury Cutter down if it is a Giratina. It's actually in a Alolan Mox. There's a Alolan Mox playing a bit of a dangerous game. They need to call. It's the bait's going to one-shot them. The Knight's actually going to do nothing. Let's see what they want to do. Hashtag I'm not baiting. GG's to the opponent. In comes a Swampert and a couple of Fury Cuts takes it out. Great win. Seeing the power of Shadow Gliscor. One shot on yet another opponent. Moving on to this next battle. We got Shadow Swampert into Cresselia. You've seen it throughout this video, so what I'm going to look to do is I'm going to look to catch this grass knot. If they are running grass knot, we're about to find out. They are throwing, so yet again we managed to catch the energy. So they're now on to 0. We're now loaded. See what they're going to do. They're going to charge up a little bit. I imagine they are going to switch out, and we are met by a Steelix. Whoa. This is kind of a wild pick. I used to use Steelix back in Season 1 and pre-season. It was a real great answer to Guillotine when they used to run Ancient Power. However, since they're now running Shadow Sneak, it's not great. Crunch comes through. His Super Power probably isn't going to be enough. As I said before, Ran Steelix is a real thick boy. Let's see what they want to do. It'll probably get him quite low, but won't take him out. They actually shield, so switch advantage is definitely theirs. However, they are going to have to throw some energy because they are not going to be able to fast move me down. They actually double shield. They're still going to have to throw some energy, even double debuff. They really aren't doing enough. We get to the superpower, and unfortunately for the opponent, I have a Hydro Cannon loaded, so they are actually going to lose CMP. I'm going to fire this off immediately. Let's hope they don't look to catch, which they don't. This is going to take out the Steelix, so all that energy is going to go to waste. Back out comes that Cresselia. We are actually up shield, and we managed to catch another grass knot, so this must be getting quite frustrating for the opponent. Catch the grass knot, let's see what's in the back. There's actually a Swampert in the back, which actually is quite bad for us, but I think what we're going to do here, we're going to shield this up. We're going to look to get him into Hydro Cannon range for our own Swampert. Fishing for the boost. Probably should have went straight Earthquake, but unfortunately probably wouldn't care from this range, so perhaps fishing for the boost might be the play. Either way, they're now in Hydro Cannon range, which is great for us. So Gliscor's done his job. Hasn't done much in this match, but it has chipped the Swampert down. We're going to get off a couple of mud shots. We're going to fire our own Hydro Cannon just before they get to theirs. We're going to maximise our energy gain to make sure that we can clutch out this game against Cresselia. We're going to need to get off at least 2 Hydro Cannons here, whereas the opponent's going to have to get off 3 grass knots to take our shield. So first Hydro Cannon coming through. This is kind of where you wish you're running an Earthquake, as this Earthquake could probably take him out of this range, but we're just going to go straight Hydro Cannon with the 2 shields. We're in a good spot. Fair play to the opponent sticking it out. We get an extra mud shot through, which is kind of irrelevant now. I think they're at the back-to-back, so they are going to take both my shields, which is good for them, but it's not going to be enough. And Hydro Cannon coming through, and that takes out the Cresselia. GG's to the opponent. On to this next battle, we have got Shadow Swampert into yet another Cresselia. Let's see if this is running grass knot. So we're going to look to catch on 6, charging up, 4, 5, 6, catch on the Snorlax. As I said previously, it looks like all these league Cresselias are running grass knot, which is great for us. The opponent switches into a Typhlosion. It's actually an Incinerate Typhlosion, which is kind of a bit worse for Snorlax. Obviously, if it was running Shadow Claw, we would resist that. These Incinerates are really chunking, but either way, we're in an okay spot. They've charged up to 5. They've CMP tied me, which is great play by the opponent. They're at the back-to-back, so there's no point shielding, as they could just shield. And still win switch, so we're going to let that go. Let's see what the opponent wants to do. They throw instantly. I know this is a blast burn because I don't have the energy for Solar Beam, so I'm going to actually let this go. Which kind of seems crazy on a Shadow Swampert, but Cresselia doesn't offer any fast move pressure, so we're going to let this go and look to commit to the farm down, which we do get. And I imagine they're going to come back in with this Cresselia, so we're going to fire off this Hydro Cannon. Like we said, they really don't offer that much fast move pressure. However, lag does offer a bit more pressure, as these fast moves that they're getting for free are annoying. However, we're still in an okay spot. We're going to look to switch out, and we'll see what their back Pokemon is. The opponent is staying in, which is kind of strange. I am wondering what's in the back at this point. This Night Slash will be more than enough to put him into Hydro Cannon range for later, and the opponent has a Snorlax. We've seen this matchup before.
Snorlax doesn't have the best match against Gliscor. I'm going to go straight EQ. And I don't imagine they're going to commit any shields to Snorlax. EQ lands, which is great. The Snorlax is over farming. I think they're just short of the back-to-back body slam. Let's see what they're going to do. They've actually gone for an outrage, which is crazy, but either way, it doesn't take us out. But I now know they're not going to make another move, so I'm safe to throw this Night Slash. Just keep enough health on my Gliscor to know I'm not going to have to worry about being fast moved down. This Cresselia is going to have to throw its energy, which it's going to do now. And our Swampert should be in a real nice spot to clutch out this game. Grass not coming through. They're going to need to get to 2 more, as I've still got yet another shield, and I'm going to have to get to 2 Hydro Cannons to take them out. As you can see, I'm at the back-to-back now. I think this is actually a CMP tie, so I imagine we're going to have to put up our last shield, which we do. So in reality, we are quite low health, but we're in a pretty commanding position as there's still 5 Psychic Cut short of the next Grass Knot. Shadow Swampert clutched out yet another game. GG's to the opponent. Shadow Swampert yet again. On to this next battle. We've got one of the worst leads this team can see. It's Gyarados. We are going to look to catch on to the Snorlax. So we need to be careful. We're charging up. And I've actually mistimed it there. Dragon Breath isn't the easiest to count, so I'm going to have to eat this move, which isn't great. As you can see, I'm already deep in the yellow, so I have to instant swap now, which we do. Snorlax into Gyarados. They actually hold their energy, which is good for them. And then we've got Melmetal. Snorlax Melmetal is an okay matchup. Because we've got Swampert in the lead, which is low on energy, I imagine they're not going to shield. So what we are going to look to do is we're going to look to go to the back-to-back superpowers, which we're at now. If we land this, I'm actually going to go for a body slam next time, as that body slam will be enough to take them out. We do land it, body slam coming through, the opponent's either have to waste a shield or give a switch. They actually waste a shield, which is great for us because, like I said, I misplayed that first matchup, so the Swampert is actually quite low, so I'm going to really appreciate this farm. Swampert's going to come in, farm this down, and I'll look to throw this Sludge Wave at Gyarados. This was something I learned playing this matchup. I actually thought Swampert won CMP. He doesn't, as you can see. So we're going to have to put up a shield, burn our first shield. This Sludge Wave coming through should be enough to take out this Gyarados. I don't imagine we'll see a shield because they're probably expecting a Hydro Cannon. Actually doesn't take it out. We're going to look to Fury Cutter down. The opponent doesn't switch out, which is great for us. We get a bit of farm, and I see what's in the back. In the back's Togekiss, and this is terrible for us, as there's not really a lot Gliscor can do. Obviously we're on an aerial ace, we can hit him for neutral, but it's a pretty trash move. So we're going to have to fish for the boost. We actually get the boost. We're now going to go for the double resisted Earthquake. In case any of you are wondering, Earthquake and Night Slash are both resisted, but Earthquake having stab and being such a good move, Night Slash not having stab and being a terrible move. Actually Earthquake does more DPE. What we're going to have to do here, we're going to have to go to the back-to-back Hydro Cannons, but I don't think our Swampert's got enough health. Togekiss comes, fishes for the boost, no boost. I think we're actually 1 mudshot short here of the Hydro Cannons. So we're going to fire this first one off, which should get the shield, but I think that charm that come through is going to take us out. So yeah, GG's to the opponent.
So those were the battles, some pretty epic wins, a couple of bad losses, but you can't win them all. Now, these battles, some of them were actually featured by Homeslicehenry. Shout out Homeslicehenry. I'll link his channel in the back. And also Kaylee, another member of the Fight Club, will also link her channel. And the next battles you're going to see are some Open Master League battles. So stay tuned. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. I'll see you all in the next one.